What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, and you're tuned out to another fresh out interview. Make sure you hit that like button, that share button, subscribe, support, represent.
Do that.
Man, we got a dope interview for you guys today. It's a long time in the making. Bring together this East Coast, West Coast. I got the homie China Mac here, and we're about to get his story. And China Mac, man, I mean, I know you've been all over the internet, you do your thing,
Yes,
but let our audience get some background from you, man. Like, where you're from, how you grew up, man, and.
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you for having me on your platform. Shout out to Sean G. Sean G was good. You know what I mean? Sean G put this together for us. I'm from New York City, born and raised. Born in Brooklyn, grew up in Lower East Side, Manhattan, Queens. I'm basically a New York City kid. I lived every borough. New York City to the bone, baby. Shout out all my New York City representatives. And I grew up in 80s, 90s. Grew up in the Chinatown, like the Chinatown gangster, last of the real Chinatown gangster era. Where the gangs and stuff was in Chinatown, and that's what I grew up around. That's what I saw when I was a youth. That's what my father was. That's what my uncles were. That's what That's what was my environment. So I seen that coming up, and I had a troubled childhood. My father wasn't around. He got arrested when I was 5 years old. He disappeared, and I was in and out the system since I was a kid. I think I was like maybe 8 years old. First time I went into a group home, and then from there I just kept on going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, and yeah, I was lost. I was lost, and looking back at it, I was like, yo, damn. Looking back at it, I know somebody could have got to me. Somebody could have got to my ass, man. People just gave up too quickly. People didn't really try. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They gave up on me. Like they people did try, but the right people didn't try enough. You know what I'm saying? To get through to me, and it could have been. It was possible. You know, like and because they didn't get through to me, I just kept on. I felt like I wasn't, everybody told me that I wasn't smart enough. Everybody told me that I wasn't good enough. This is what I was getting, So when I was getting that, I was like, all right, fuck it. That's what I'm giving out too. You know what I'm saying? So if this is what it is, then I'm gonna just keep on acting that out, And everybody watching this, it's important that we understand how the mind works of young people. Like we have to understand how they work, and the things that we do and the things that we don't do to these young individuals, these growing minds, that dictates where the fuck they go in their life. That dictates what they do. That dictates how they turn out. The little small things, man. So everybody watching, pay attention to that, man. Like really, if you got kids, you got nephews, nieces, you got anybody that you have to do your job in getting through to them, because if you give up, they gonna give up.
I think, the fight for the children is the big thing too, like you said, the right person, because, I heard little things, but it didn't.
Could somebody have gotten to you?
They could have gotten to me, man, but it didn't break that bond. I had a lot of resentment and then anger. And then, going through juvenile hall and that system, and then seeing these other kids, everybody's pretty much wilding out. So the ones I seen that were able to make a quicker turn, where they had like a father figure come, or their dad come to visit them, and was like really stern. Everybody else had like baby mamas, the moms. Not to say that those aren't influences, but having that, I mean, as a male, a strong male, you're looking for other males to copycat, to try to impersonate. So
right.
That's your biggest impression. You get out, and it took me, I knew I was doing wrong when I was doing the stuff in juvenile halls and started doing all the street stuff, but it wasn't enough to pull me out of that until I got to where I had somebody who was older who checked me and it humbled me. It got past my ego, because you get humbled and you like sit back and you got to listen and you feel stupid. You start thinking twice. But I didn't have that till later, man, till I hit my 20s.
Right.
So, I know you going through it, man, and you said been in and out the system, group homes and stuff, man. I mean, you've seen it. I mean, seeing young people is in the younger crowd, people think, oh, the prison, younger crowd, people are taking off like this because they can't even control their emotions. That's on site. Juvenile hall you walking through or some of these younger facilities, kids they don't even know how to talk to each other. So the first thing they do is fight. Counselor come in, break it up. They put you separate, but it's a whole thing is trying to create your identity. And I know, like for myself, I didn't even know who I was. I thought I knew who I was. I didn't know who I was, man, until I got to the prison and really started looking at who am I? What is my purpose here? Have I been squandering what my value is? And I'm looking around and seeing all these other people with all this time. It was like a really hard look, but a lot of people don't want to take that hard look. So they're either they're masking it with drinking, drugs, or just trying to check out. And and if you want to get back to what your purpose is, you got to take that hard look at yourself, man. I mean, I know you sound like you've done a lot of thinking and reflecting, man. And as a young person going through the system, man, I mean, was there any point that you felt like, maybe this is the wrong path, or it wasn't until later on that you realized that?
I mean, I knew it was the wrong path, but I just didn't care. Or maybe I did care, but I didn't just, my need to be accepted outweighed anything else, right? Because like you said, my father wasn't there. I didn't have a father figure there. You know what I'm saying? So, like everybody else's story, I found my father figure where I found it, on the street, the local people, like the gangsters. I looked up to them, and that's what. And I always wanted to fit in, because when you don't have a father, when you're a kid, you feel like, damn, motherfucker left me. Like, you start thinking like it's you. You start feeling like there's something wrong with you. You start feeling like there's something, there's something that's missing with you. There's something wrong, and so I wanted to be accepted. I felt like my father didn't want me because for whatever reason. So I always wanted to be accepted. I wanted the streets. I wanted the gangsters to accept me. I wanted that. That's what I wanted. And I feel like my story is the same as a bunch of other kids that's coming up right now. They want to be accepted, man. They want to fit in. They want to be a part of something. Especially if they don't have no fathers and shit. They want to find that in somebody. You know what I mean? And chances are, you're gonna find it on the streets. You're gonna find it on the streets, but it's not the right. That's not the right. That's not the right shit to get. You know what I mean? That's not the right father figure. That's not the right passage. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, I got caught up in that too. So, looking back, I feel like I could have wasted, like, I could have done whatever I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I wanted to be, I could have been that. But I just didn't have the right people behind me talking to me and guiding me the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was talking with somebody else the other day, and I said one of the big things is most young men have never heard another male figure in their family that cares about them say, hey, man, I love you, bro. Man, you come here, man. I'm proud of you, boo, And there was a comment where somebody was saying about, like, the dads, when you talk about, like, LeVar Ball or Jay Morant's dad and how they're at the games cheering for him. I said, dude, I'm jealous, man. The dads is, like, that excited. Dad's that involved. I mean, how you going to get mad that a dude's dad is pumping his son up, talking a bunch of shit, and his son has made it? Everybody wants their son to make it at that level. Why wouldn't you want your dad to be your biggest fan, cheering, talking shit, or like Serena Venus's dad, being there at every game, supporting you. You look up, your mom and dad, you're like, wow, That's a great feeling, man. I used to wish. I remember playing sports, looking up, and with nobody up there, or maybe one person. But to see that, it makes you feel like you are somebody. And I know for myself, growing up in the hood, it's like there are the points where I'm like, man, I'm gonna show these dudes I'm hard. I ain't got no older brother, so you gonna know about me some way somehow. So I was doing things to try to somehow create my manhood from within,
Right.
because I didn't have nobody teaching me how to be a man.
Right.
So it's a hard sell, man. I know a lot of kids are, they don't even understand why they're doing the things they're doing, but that's a big factor, is not having that male telling you that I love you, or I got your back, that gives you the confidence to be a man. And when you get older, you have these certain courageous traits, or these stand-up traits, and you can handle situations without being all emotional and thinking, oh man, somebody say something to you and you do something that a female would do instead of how a male would handle a situation. So a lot of that plays a factor, man. Leading up to, like, when you actually got your major time in the state, what was the incident that led to that situation? And then was it an immediate where you realized, like, man, I got to change up? Or was it a gradual process where you kind of came to your own conclusion that this isn't the life for me? I know for me, it was like when I got the handcuffs put on and the cops were like, oh man, they were kind of laughing. They're like, oh, it's exciting. And I'm looking at the ocean. I'm like, man, I'm done. This is it. I know I'm not going to be on the streets for a while. So I had almost an epiphany the day I got arrested. But for some people, it comes later.
I was playing with my life, bro. Like, I look back at that shit and I'm like, damn, I was a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? And I look at these kids now doing all this shit, 14 years old, shooting over scooters, killing people, gang shit, and doing all this shit. And I know that when they turn 30, and they're gonna look back and they're gonna say, if they can have that opportunity to, because a lot of them won't. You know what I mean? But if God grants them that blessing to make it to 30 years old, they're gonna look back at that shit like, man, that shit was some dumbass fucking shit. That was some stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was playing with my life, bro. Like, I didn't give a fuck. I did give a fuck, but like I said, it was just not that important. Like, other things were more important to me. You know what I mean? And I was just trying to act out and do whatever the fuck, But I play with my life. Like, I shouldn't be here right now. Like, I could have been easily dead, easily life in prison, bro. Like, I did shit that I never got arrested for. You know what I'm saying? And that shit could have, fucked my whole, like, it could have, So, I look at me being here right now as a complete blessing, and it was the time when I kept on going in and out, in and out, in and out. I'll come out, I go in, do 2 years, come out for 6 months, go back in. You know what I'm saying? Catch a new charge, go back in for another year, 2 years, whatever. Kept on doing that shit. I wasn't home for more than 6 months for a long time. Since I was like from 16 all the way to, 30 something. I was only home for that was the longest time I was home, 6 months. You know what I'm saying? I was just throwing my shit away, bro. Like, just here, take the best years of my life. Take it all. You know what I'm saying? And now that I look back, I'm like, damn, my whole 20s was in prison. Whole 20s, yo. From 20 years old, all the way to 32 years old, I was locked up in jail. Like through that all the way. You know what I'm saying? And those are the best years of your life, right? So it's like I just threw that away. And the time that made me really feel like, damn, I gotta change this shit, is when I was in prison and I seen these dudes 50 years old, bro, coming in with new numbers.
God, 50?
50, bro. Even 50 years old coming in with new numbers, gang. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? And they got 5 years, 10 years, and they know everybody, and they just they talking, they right at home. And I was looking at that shit, and I'm like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that, bro. I don't want to be the motherfucker that's 50 years old coming back to prison. You know what I'm saying? And just getting right back into the swing of this shit. Like, yeah, pass me, give me a bag, give me this, give me some soups, give me this. And they was right home, comfortable. Like, I'm just looking at them like, all right, I'm not trying to do that. Like, life is too short for that. The world is too big for that. There's too much pussy in the world for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't want to do that. And I was just like, you know what? I got to start changing now. Like, because if I don't start it now, then when I go home, I'm going to just be the same motherfucker. Like, if not even worse. So I just utilize my time productively. You know what I'm saying? I went to college programs. I went to the acting play programs. I was doing play shit in there. I was every fucking program that they had that could get me out of my cell and out of that yard, then that's what I'm doing. I was just doing all that shit, just learning, like just spending my time rehabilitating myself, you know what I'm saying, and giving myself the best shot not to go back inside, you know what I'm saying? So I spent my 10 years like that. Of course, I got in trouble. Went to the box, did dumb shit, you know, got knocked with scalpels and fucking shit like that, you know what I mean, did shit, but for the majority of it, I stayed out of the bullshit, you know what I'm saying, like I kept myself around the right shit to prepare myself mentally to come back outside, you know, and then thank God I did that, you know what I'm saying, and because, you know, easily, yo, they trying to lose us in that system, bro. They trying to lose us in there. They won't have no qualms about that. They'll do that quick. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy you said that about the OGs, because I remember the day I got sentenced, there was another dude in there who got sentenced. He had just did 12 for bank robbery. He was out a year and a half, had committed 2 more bank robberies. It was pleading out to another 15. And I'm like, damn, this dude, he was 20 years my senior. I was 24. He was probably 44.
Yeah.
And he, like you said, he knew people. He was like, oh, I can't wait to get to the pen. I'm like, dude, you can't wait to get to the pen? How long you were out? Oh, a year and a half. You know, I was out there. I'm like, damn. They're like, oh, man, you got one more in you. No, bro, I ain't got no more. I'm done. This is a wrap for me, you know. And I just I was just tripping out. And in the feds, with those numbers, you're not in and out. You're just in. So they said 120 months. I'm just like, it's almost like I'm frozen. You know, you're in shock still. It doesn't hit you until you get to your designation. But
that's 10.
Oh man,
128 months.
120 months, 10 years. Yep. And I was.
That's what you did.
100. Yep. 120 months. I did 8 years, 8 months off of that. But when I got to the feds, you know, they got guys in there. You know, I met dudes from New York, dudes doing, 30 years, 4 lives plus 100. I'm like, God, you know, these people ain't playing. Some dude's been in there 20 years. I got 10 more to do. I'm short timing. And I started really thinking like, damn, this shit is for real. I never heard no shit like this. It's real shit. You know, dudes doing real, and there's no halftime, 85%. And it was eye-awakening, man. You know, there's people from all around the country where I was at, New York, Baltimore, D.C., Virginia, Florida, Texas. And I just really, I went in there, I just meditated, man, and tried to, really find my place, man. But, you know, that's where I just said, hey, when I get out, I started putting my plan together like yourself, put together a journal, writing books, writing movie scripts, and just focusing on, if I got out tomorrow, what would I do? And,
right.
You know, that's how I got into doing Fresh Out. I came up with the idea while I was in prison.
Right.
And, you know, the same with yourself, man. I know you know you're doing a lot of things, man. Tell the people a little bit about, what you have going on now and some of your ventures you're working on.
Right now is, I got, my YouTube channel, China Mac TV. I do a show called Mac Eats where, I try different food, go to different cultures. Today I'm about to go to the Samoans. Right after this, I got to shoot with the Samoan brothers, and they going to show me how to eat, how they eat and shit, you know what I mean? I love that shit, man. That's not even work, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that's not even work, because I enjoy myself traveling. I've been locked up so long, you know what I mean? I want to travel wherever. I'll go by myself. I'll go wherever, everywhere. I want to meet different people. I want to eat different food. I want to try different things, because that's freedom.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's freedom.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. You know, that's freedom to me. You know what I mean? Being able to just go anywhere, go to different places, and being able to just expose myself to different stuff. So I got Mac Eats. I'm working on a movie right now. You know, I can't really talk about too much about it, but it's gonna be a major thing. It's gonna be a major thing, and I knew it was gonna be. I knew since I was 16 years old that there was gonna be a movie about my life. Mm-hmm. I used to say that shit, like, there's gonna be a movie about my life. Things used to happen, and I'd be like, yeah, this guy's going in a movie. I used to say that shit.
Yeah.
And now, you know, we're actually, it's going down, and it's gonna be a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Because my story is a little different, and you know. Besides that, you know, I'm also working on a podcast. You know, I'm also working on my book, and yeah, just trying to be and also doing stuff for the community. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, just lending my hand where I can help. You know.
That's dope, man. You know, you're a big influence on the people and social media and everybody that's out there watching. And like you said, you have an audience, and your reach goes beyond probably what you even realize, or maybe you do realize. But I know you got people from all over the world who watch your channel, and other individuals who watch our channel. And when they see this, they're gonna be like, "Damn, that's so dope!" And you're gonna inspire kids to do things they never thought, man. So having you on the channel to be able to share your life and your conversation, it's a blessing, bro. We're going to have all the links in the description. And, man, I hope to get with you again in the future, man. But, hey, man, dude, thank you for coming on the channel, man. We appreciate it.
No doubt. Thank you for having me, brother.
Hey, you guys, make sure you check out all the information in the description, all this man's YouTube, everything he has going on with his IG. Big Hurry, China Mac.
Yes, sir.